Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Debbie.
Oh, sorry, just one second.
No
Got to turn this
worries.
on.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I'm so excited to have you join us today for our weekly live chat with our holistic practitioners. Um, Today's topic is a really, really big one, and it's one that pertains to everyone. I think it's the topic of money and financial abundance. I think I just want to preface it by saying, I think there's a misconception that, Asians are really good with our money, which is
Yeah,
not true. I think money is
yeah,
something that, the lack of it or, something that we all sort of struggle with, and it's a goal that pertains to everyone. So I'm so excited to be joined by you today. And before we dive in, I'm just going to do a little introduction. I think you have such an interesting background, and
thank you.
I've come across a lot of like life coaches and performance coaches, but not one that really focuses on money mindset. So when we connected, I made it was like, Debbie, we have to do a live chat because this is something that I think so many people would be interested in, how to get out of debt, how to, spend more purposefully, and how to, increase their financial abundance. So Debbie's a money mindset and finance coach who works with clients in achieving a balanced money mindset and financial well-being, amongst other goals. She takes on a holistic CFO approach when working with her clients by combining her pragmatic financial expertise and mindset training as a life coach in her sessions with her clients. She is a chartered professional accountant and a certified professional uh, coactive coach and a Reiki master. Is that correct? So I think your background is so interesting. You're not only a life coach and a Reiki master, but your background is in accounting, which obviously makes you really an expert in this area. So yeah, I want to go dive into the questions. We have a lot to cover today in only 30 minutes, so definitely want to cover everything. So what is a money mindset coach? Tell us. And what does a money mindset coach do? So when someone comes to you, when a client comes to you, what are some of the problems that they're looking to resolve, and what do you help them with?
Yeah, and first of all, thank you for having me. A money mindset coach, the kind of problems that people come to me for are, number one is they feel like they're constantly hustling. They're hustling for money, they're trying to save, they're trying to make more money, and it's just not happening. People also come to me for budget setting. I do a holistic budget approach, aligning that with their life, with their lifestyles, with their personality. And they also come to me for just understanding the law of attraction and really finding the confidence in dealing with money and building wealth. And for me, wealth isn't just about money. Wealth is just every pie on that wheel of life. So they want a happy life, they want a fulfilled life, but they also want that to align their money with their purpose.
That's amazing. You brought up the topic or the term law of attraction. Law of attraction is such a buzzword. I wonder,
Yeah.
so how does the law of attraction kind of come into play when it comes to achieving financial abundance and, having a healthy, achieving financial well-being? Is it really you think positively and then, money will come, or what is your interpretation of it?
Yeah. I feel like the law of attraction, and there are several books out there that talks about it, sometimes can be misinterpreted as saying like, oh, if I just think about it and call it in, and I just don't have to do anything, I sit there and things will start coming in. And that's not how I see it. But I also don't agree that you have to hustle, you have to work, drive yourself really hard for money. For me, and the law of attraction is to keep your vibration high, and how you can do that is if you align with everything you do with a purpose, with your purpose in life here and just everything you do, all aspects of your life, then you naturally start creating this high vibration.
Yeah.
You're in better mood because you're fulfilled, you're doing what you love to do. And when you're at a higher vibration, that's when the good things are starting to come in, because good things have a higher vibration.
Yeah.
But if you're in the mindset of like, oh, everything is so difficult and there's just not enough, then that's a really low vibration, and what you're looking for is up here, and how you're vibrating is down here, and that's why things are not coming in.
Yeah, and it's also kind of that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you think things are hard,
100%.
if you think that you have to work really hard to get something, or that you're constantly in a state of lack, naturally, I think the actions that you take would also perpetuate that belief, right? I think it's
100%.
yeah. So what are some of the common misbeliefs about money? And I just want to,
Yeah.
preface by saying that Debbie's actually working on an article for our blog, which is going to be really interesting, which we'll talk about, she'll go in depth about the misbeliefs about money. But just for the sake of this chat, can you kind of highlight maybe the top 3?
Yeah, I think the number one that I hear about the most is there's not enough. There's just not enough to go around. And again, it's like what you said, right? If you keep saying that there's not enough, there's just not going to be enough, and you'll always be chasing after more. And to tag off of that is people think that more is better, and I don't. And this is why I do money mindset coaching now. I'm still an accountant, but I still do but I do money mindset coaching because in accounting, I just keep seeing like we're in companies and seeing people, they just constantly want to make more money. It's all as if like more is better, more is awesome. And don't take me wrong, it's nice to have money, it's nice to have enough. But when you have more, you really have to think about why do I want more? Why do I or do I just want the money to be sitting in the bank account? Do I want millions and billions of dollars just looking at it because it's really nice? Or is the more money that you're calling in, you're making going towards something, going towards fulfilling a purpose or aligning with your purpose? So that's number one. And number 2 is I have to hustle for money. And again, that's that law of attraction, right? And so many people, I feel like this term has caused a lot of controversy because people are like, well, what do you mean? You have to work. Like our parents always say, you have to really work hard in order to make money.
Sure, it's like if you ever want to like make more money, you have to work really, really hard. You have to have really strong work ethics. I mean, I think that's prevalent across all cultures, but especially in the Asian culture, it's like work hard, work. I mean, I think I worked in Asia before, and it's like 12 hours work day are kind of not uncommon. So
yeah. And there's almost that badge of honor, like, oh my God, I'm so busy, and that's why I'm so successful.
Busy.
Yeah, and I don't fully agree with that. We have to work, but when you align what you work with what you love, it really isn't working.
Right.
Like, for example, the stuff that I'm doing on the coaching side, I love it. And it doesn't feel like I'm working. Like people ask me things like, oh, you're posting all these posts, like, do you do research and stuff like that? And it's like, because it's so aligned, it just naturally, it comes to me and I just write about it because I'm so passionate about it. So I think you have to hustle for money is a myth, because if you have to go out there, really go against your purpose and your fulfillment to make more money, then that's a myth. You don't have to do that. The most important thing is finding your purpose and do something that's aligned to that purpose. Then it's going to feel effortless.
Right. Yeah, that's really true. What do you think are some of the limiting beliefs that's hindering people from achieving financial abundance? And the other question is, where do people get wrong about money mindset?
That's a very good question. It's those two, and that I just talked about the 2 myths, and then the third one is that's just the way it is. It's almost like, oh well, that's how everyone does it, so then that's how I have to do it. And I call it bringing in a little bit more of the creative energy. Is so this is what I want to do, and there are endless possibilities. And I think that's what really stops people from. I feel like it's too harsh to say, oh, that's what stops people from being successful. But that's what stops people from being happy in what they do, is that they don't believe that that can happen, that they can do something that they love and to make money. And that's a huge money mindset, not a problem, but a misconcept, right? They constantly feel like it's just whoever is doing that, living their life, living a fulfilling life, doing what they love, they're just lucky.
Yeah.
And because when you say you're lucky, when you say that person is lucky and they have what they want and they have what I want, what are you saying to yourself? You're saying that you're unlucky.
Yeah.
And when you're saying that you're unlucky, what are you calling in? Not the good stuff, right? Not opportunities. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when I'm just curious, like when clients come to you, what are some of the most common issues? Is it really they want help with readjusting their money mindset or helping to create a budget, or is it all of the above? And also, I mean, in theory, I think all of this makes sense, right? Like, yeah, I need to change my belief about money, but it's like, it's hard, right? It's easier said than done. So what is like this first step to changing your money, to changing your mindset about money, and what are some practical tips that you can impart?
Yeah, I always say the number one thing is self-care, because if you don't take good care of yourself, and it's so not non-money related, finance related, but if you don't take care of yourself, you don't really understand yourself. You don't know what you need, and you need to know what you need in order to call in what you want.
Right.
A lot of people go
That's
out
true.
there looking for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's so true. I was
Oh,
gonna say,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people go out there and say, oh, I think I want that and I think I want that. But what they're really doing is they're comparing themselves with what everyone else have, people in their circle. But if you really know who you truly are, really confident, if you're really confident in yourself, it doesn't matter what other people have. You would know exactly what you need and what you want, and that's actually the number one thing that I ask my clients to do, is to find your purpose, really focus on your confidence. Because if you don't have that, we're going to set a budget, but if you don't know what you want, the budget is not going to really align with you. And if you don't know what you want, and as you're working on your confidence and finding your purpose, you'll start noticing the little misconcepts or disbeliefs on money mindset,
Right.
that then we can talk about at the end.
Right. So it's really gaining clarity of what you want, and then help them sort of develop the like an action plan to achieve those goals once they have clarity on what it is. I think it's so true, because I think we talked about money and relationships. The energetics around it is very intertwined, right? And
Yes.
I think it's kind of similar when you're calling a romantic partner. You have to be really clear on what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you need, right? Like a lot of my friends always say, write top three things. That's like, the three qualities that you cannot compromise on. And I think once you know what it is that you're looking for, and I think same with like money and career, like you just start looking for those things, and things that don't align with that, you kind of like, okay, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. So opportunities, even with job opportunities that don't align with that, it's easier to say no to those, because there are no doubts. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like when you realize that this is what you don't want, you stop attracting it.
Yeah.
It's funny how the universe does that for you. Once you go like, nope, I'm at a high vibration, I don't want anything else, and you don't even think about it, then they don't come in. So and you're so true. It's money and love and compassion has the same vibration.
Yeah.
Right. So it really does work hand in hand.
Yeah. Do you have any tips on, spending decisions? I think you and I briefly talked about this too, and I think it's such a big topic. It's the concept of like purposeful spending, right? How do we spend, with purpose? And I think a lot of the times people just, don't just kind of like spend, mindlessly, because, especially I think with COVID, a lot of us don't really have, we can't travel, we can't really go anywhere. So a lot of the times we spend, a lot of times on a computer, and naturally, when you're stressed out, when you're overwhelmed, the easiest thing to do is like open your browser and go to a website and go to Amazon and buy things. I also notice I'm like, I'm not even going anywhere. How is my money like how am I spending this much money every month, right? And I think I'm not really being purposeful in how I'm spending. So how can you explain what the concept of like purposeful spending is, and how does it work? And yeah, I'm so interested.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll take getting a cup of Starbucks, for example.
Yeah.
Like I used to like go to a coffee shop, Starbucks, whatnot, and because I'm outside, I'm walking around and saw a Starbucks. It's like, oh, okay, I could use a coffee. Spend like what, $5, $6, $7 on a cup of coffee, and then I realized I'm just walking around with it. I just want to hold something in my hand. It's almost like a habit. And purposeful spending talks about really tap into every time you're about to swipe your card or press purchase or complete online spending. Really ask yourself, and this is where the confidence and really knowing yourself comes in handy. Really tap into your body and just ask yourself, what is the reason why I'm making this purchase? So for example, in this cup of coffee, am I really tired? Do I need coffee? Because really drinking too much caffeine isn't good for you either. And if I am not tired, do I need a drink? Or do I just feel like buying something? And then tap into, okay, why do I have the need? Do I have the desire to spend money? And a lot of times it goes back to self-care. It's like, oh, I just want to treat myself to something nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Starbucks is, it's everywhere. It's super nice, and that's what people do. And so if you go, and then once if that's your answer, then you go, okay, is there anything else out there that I can do that costs less money, that brings me the same enjoyment, same satisfaction? So for me, it's to go to the beach or go for a walk or just look at different buildings and be in nature. That's free, and that actually makes me feel better than a cup of coffee. So that's one example of purposeful spending. I think a lot of times when people are hustling, they don't think about what they're spending, and what it comes down to, at least this is what happens with the people that I've been talking to, is that they just want something nice for themselves.
Yeah.
And so the easiest thing is to make a purchase and maybe have that 5 seconds of satisfaction.
Yeah, it's like that adrenaline rush too. When you buy something, then you're like, oh my God, it's gonna come. And then after, like you said, a short certain amount of time, then it dissipates. Like it's, and
yeah.
Like, now what? Now do I go and buy something else? Or yeah, so I can
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you end up with like half a cup of Starbucks that's not finished, or a closet full of really nice things that you maybe wore at once, and that could all be avoided if you practice purposeful spending and go, okay, that's why I wanted this. I mean, if you spend the same amount of money on a spa or a massage, that level and time frame of satisfaction actually lasts longer than doing a 5-second click and be like, yay, this thing is coming to my mail, and take 5 minutes to open it up and be excited for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think, for me too, definitely. I think I used to, obviously resort to like shopping or other vices to kind of, make myself feel good. But now I do, I think it's not like don't spend money, but it's spending it on things that truly, truly, like you said, like kind of back to the self-care, like things that, this is actually really nourishes my mind, my body, So yeah, I think that's great. So the other question I had was, I think this is a big one. A lot of people are, I think with COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs or are going through career transitions, and I think money has become a big issue. So, people who, for instance, are like in debt or trying to make more money to increase financial abundance, what is the first thing that they should do?
The first thing that they should do is really, is what I said earlier, is to really ask about themselves, like what exactly are they looking for? And I think the one thing on just a pure financial accounting side, I think the pandemic really was an opportunity to really look into your finances and anything that needs to be read. For example, a lot of the families don't have, sorry, just 1 second, I'm just gonna, someone was trying to
cut it off a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I lost the Bluetooth connection. Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So it's to really take a look at your finances and go. A lot of the families and individuals don't have a contingency fund, right? So it's really important. Right? Yeah, exactly. Just in case. So, like you said, a lot of people lost their jobs or they have to work on reduced hours during the pandemic, and that's really hard. And so people start thinking, well, what do I need to be okay if something happens? Knock on wood. There are a lot of articles out there that talks about you might want at least 6 to 12 months of contingency fund. just in case anything happens. And for me, on top of that, I think if you're looking at saving more money or wanting to make more money, you really need to start asking yourself, what is it that you want? Have a budget to and an actual to look at what it was before, and are you happy with how you're spending it? Because if you don't have it right in front of you, I'm a visual person, so if you don't have it right in front of you, it's really hard to see the percent, like the the proportions and how much money out of your income each expense item takes up. And once you have that, then you have to ask yourself, how comfortable do I want to be? What's my 3, 5, 10-year goal? And work backwards. I feel like for me, budgets work really well when you work backwards, because you feel like if I want to purchase a house or a condo in the next 10 years, then how much do I need to save up every year and work backwards? And that's why the budget is so important. But before you even do that, again, you need to know what you really want.
So like you said, kind of going back to like setting goals and knowing really having clarity on what you're trying to achieve, whether it's like getting out of debt or buying a home or buying these things, and then working backwards. And that's where the budget comes in to kind of help you, right?
Yeah.
I just want to read this comment from Mindful.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love my coffee too. Like for me, that's self-care, right? Like I really enjoy I know it's $1 coffee. I'm like, oh my God, I can make this at home, but the experience is different. And for me too, I like, it's part of my self-care, but I cut back on other things, right? For me, I'm like, this is something I really enjoy and it truly makes me happy. Like, so yeah, I agree. So I'm the same.
Yeah.
So I think
I just want to respond to that comment as well. And like Diana, what you're saying, it's not about not buying that cup of coffee or not making that purchase. It's more about think about like what the purpose of it is. If you really enjoy the experience of being in a cafe and you buy a cup of coffee, you can be there for the whole afternoon and you feel really good and it brings your vibration up, do it.
Yeah,
I think that coffee comment and online shopping comment is on people who really like me, how I used to just hold it in my hand and then I go home and I was like, oh, the coffee's still half full. And then now it's cold and what do I do? And it's in the afternoon and I can't sleep. So it's not about what to buy or not to buy. It's more about what exactly is it for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about the experience. So I also have a question. I think kind of going back to like setting budgets and getting out of like, debt or increasing your financial abundance. What is your take on building your nest egg or building that emergency fund versus like, paying off debt? Do you think you should try to pay off debt first or build a nest egg? Because I hear different, people talk about different, they have a different opinion about that. What is your take?
Yeah, I do. My approach is very holistic and everyone is different. So if you have debt and you also want to build savings, that's where the budget and the spreadsheet really comes in handy, because there's got to be a balance, right? And when you have budget, you can lay it out to every quarter or every month, every year, and every 3 to 5 years. And then you can start thinking, that's when you can start seeing the numbers out and seeing yourself allocating the numbers. Some people, and again, it's about vibration. If you're one of those people who debt really, really, really stress you out, like owing people money, owing banks money, really stress you out, and even if you have a little bit of savings, it doesn't matter how much savings you have. When you look at the debt amount, it doesn't matter how much it is, it still stresses you out. Then of course you want to start paying off that debt, right? Because it lowers your stress, it raises your vibration. But if you're one of those people, and if you're one of those people who's like, I kind of want to see that in the savings account, it's really nice to see a little bit of money. It gives me a lot of comfort, and I'm okay with paying it, the debt, slowly but surely. Then that's when you go, okay, maybe I should put some money into savings and some money into debt, because the debt will be paid off, and you also at the same time has a little bit of savings.
That's really good.
So it all depends on the person.
Yeah, I have another comment. It's about retraining her habits. Example, she has a wedding to go to next month. She automatically thought she needed a new dress, but she has a really nice but she also has really nice expensive dresses that she can wear. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it's about retraining your habits and your mindset. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm the same. Whenever I have an event to go to, I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy a new dress But really, I have a closet full of things that I don't wear that I'm like, I can just repurpose outfits, you know? So I think you're totally spot on.
Yeah. And going through the closet, it's like Christmas all over again, right? Because sometimes I find things that I haven't worn in a long time, and it's still in really good condition, and no one's ever seen it. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. This is free. Well, it's not, but you know, money's been spent for a long time ago, and so
I agree, especially since COVID, since I haven't worn like real clothes for like a year. I'm like going in the closet for the first time. I think again, I'm like, oh my God, like I have a lot of things I have not worn, and it's kind of like that new experience again. It really feels like I'm going to a shop because I really haven't been into my closet in over a year. So yeah. So I think we're kind of coming up to the end of the hour. If anyone has questions, please drop them in the comment and ask Debbie. But kind of the last question I have is more just kind of going back onto, practical tools on how to kind of, increase our financial abundance. What is your take? And I think maybe this varies, for different people, because different people have different comfort level with saving and spending. But what is your general take on the percentage of our income that we should be saving?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And like you said, the answer does vary, depends on the individual and their income level and their expenses. So my suggestion is to really look at your budget and your actual from, I say at least the last year, and see usually how much you have, how much money you have left, and then look at each individual line items and expense items and go, is that aligned with my purpose? Is that aligned with what I want to do? And does that make me happy to spend that much money in each line items? And then that's how you can do the budget. Then look at the bottom line and see how much you have left. And then ask yourself, let's just say you have 10% left, 20% left. Yeah. And you go, do I like that?
Yeah.
Do I like the 10%? Do I like the 20%? Because in coaching, we fully believe that everyone has the answers as long as they are tapping to their purpose and tapping to their true self. They know if they go, oh, it's 20%, and your gut is telling you, oh, I want more. And why do I want more? Why I want more? Because I want to spend this money on traveling or on a car, or on a house. You yourself really know what that percentage is. And if you go, it's 25, and you go, 25 is kind of high, and I want to lower it down to 20 because I want to again travel or make a big purchase 5-10 years down the road. Then you can start adjusting that. So I think the number one step, instead of actually come up with me telling everyone an actual percentage, it's more about having your actuals, looking at your budget, and start tweaking from there.
Amazing. Well, we're coming. I can't believe these chats go by so fast. I feel like we can talk about this for like the whole day, but obviously we're coming into the end of this chat. But I want to mention again, well, thank you for everyone for joining us, and I want to mention again that Debbie is writing an article for our blog on money mindset and achieving financial abundance. So be sure to check that out. And if you're interested in working with her, go on our website. You can check out her services, or book a free discovery call with her and learn more about her healing approach and her experience. And I personally, I've told you this, I definitely want to work with you because budgeting is something that I've struggled with, but I think, like you said, I think I need to change my mindset around it. And I shouldn't say the rhetoric that, oh, I'm not good with money, then I don't know how to save, I don't know how to like invest. I think that needs to change, and I think we all have the power to change our financial circumstances, right? So I think don't be afraid. Sometimes it's okay to ask for external help, and that's why we have our expert coaches and holistic practitioners on our platform. We want to make it easy for you guys to navigate your wellness journey. You're welcome. Oh, thank you for joining. So Debbie, thank you so much, and we have to do another chat again. I think this is like, there's so many other topics, the subtopics that we can dive into.
And thank you so much for having me. This has been great, and I would love to do another one with you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.